Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and I am going to do your December the 26th Spiritual Principle a Day in a Meditation. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our Hood Recovery Services. You can reach me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Let's go ahead and get into the meditation. I hope you're having a beautiful day after Christmas. I know a lot of people are waking up slowly, so hopefully when you wake up, this will be ready for you already. December the 26th, communication is complicated. Taking a look at the differences between what we are saying, what is heard, and how people are responding to us can be the beginning of real change in our relationships. Now, that comes from our Living Clean book, Chapter 7, Principles, Practice, and Perspective. It doesn't take much clean time to figure out that our communication skills could use some work. We find ourselves increasingly ready to connect, really connect with other people. We'll have to learn to build bridges, not burn them down. Being better communicators and better humans, for that matter, will mean discarding some old patterns and adopting some new ones. Indulging in gossip is one of those old habits of communication we may want to rethink. We may have believed we bonded with others by sharing information that wasn't ours to share. Even when the news seems harmless, gossiping makes us seem untrustworthy. We learn to resist the urge to fill in every gap in any conversation with rumor, speculation, and innuendo. We get more comfortable with some breaks in our conversations and learn the value of listening more and speaking less. We adopt a new habit of asking questions and practicing empathy and open-mindedness as we hear others' points of view. Some of us suffer from overthinking, not oversharing. We second guess the wisdom of speaking up, keeping what's on our minds to ourselves instead. We may think we're being considerate, but withholding our experience and ideals often keeps others at arm's length. We might come off as shallow or stuck up, maybe even or stuck up when we're just shy. I like that. I want to reread it though. We might come off as shallow or stuck up when maybe we're just shy. Sure, there's risk involved in putting our ideals on the table, but that vulnerability enables us to connect. To complicate matters, communication involves so much more than talking and listening. All those nonverbal cues we exchange, facial expressions, body language, eye contact, touch, all add meaning. Communication is complicated. Often the best strategy is to check that we understand correctly or have been understood. Today, I'll take a closer look at how I communicate with others and identify one or two areas to work on. You know, I think a moment of silence is appropriate. I think a moment of silence is certainly appropriate for this meditation. So let's do that now, and then we'll unpack it. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. You know, I was thinking during the moment of silence. Yeah, I was thinking, I got to admit, I was thinking during the moment of silence, I do not want to get into this communication piece. This topic is such a ball of worms. It is intense, right? Communicating. We get clean and then we come into the program and we begin to learn that there's so many people trying to do the exact same thing that we're trying to do. Stay clean just for today, right? However, we start finding that people want to have conversations with us. People want to comment. on the side after the meeting about something that we shared that helped them, or maybe it didn't help them, or maybe they misunderstood it. And in the back of our mind, sometimes we're like, I'm not trying to do all this. I just need to make a meeting and get back to my life. Right? But that's not how this works. NA has a fellowship attached to it that makes all of the stuff that does work, that you do want, happen. People have to come together and organize who's going to chair the meeting, who's going to be there to open the door for the meeting, who's going to chair it, who's going to make sure that there's literature there, who's going to make sure the money is counted not once but twice, and make sure that it's kept in a safe manner. Now, how many some traditions have been lost because people are careless with the envelopes? So, and not even stealing it, just careless with them. So that takes communication. It takes communication to figure out who's making the coffee and who's cleaning up and who's taking the trash out and who's going to make sure that the slips are all signed for the newcomers that need their slips signed, or people that are on paper. Are we going to have an event? Are we going to do anything come New Year's Eve? Well, that takes planning. People have to communicate to make some of the things that you really do love about being in NA happen. And unfortunately for us, we don't get to sidestep the fact that communication sometimes is challenging. You know, I'll tell you something. I'm not a huge gossiper, but I can be. And I'm not a huge person that just bites my tongue, but more often than not, I do bite it to make sure that what I'm about to say, I mean, and I don't have to retract, right? Retracto, right? I don't want to have to retract what I'm about to say. So there are times when I will take my time to make sure that what I'm about to say is intentional. And I also make time when that happens to make sure the person understands me, right? Now, if I don't care if they understand me and I'm just saying what I need to say, like an ultimatum or something of that nature, then I might not ask them, do they have any questions? But most of the time, I try to figure out if they understood what I meant in the tone that I meant it in. But here's the thing about me. I have a face that reacts regardless to what my words say. My microfacial reactions, my facial reactions have caused me more problems than any words I could ever say. I don't know. My face just flinches and it goes into to whatever reaction that is going on. And that is the piece that I have to remember, that I am very reactive with my microfacial responses, my nonverbal communication. And people will interpret that exactly most of the time as I actually mean it. And a lot of times that will reveal, I don't know about you, but I'm just saying for me, that those nonverbal cues, my microfacial responses, and it's been proven in forensics, right? There's a whole psychological forensic study of microfacial responses, that is the true response that a person is having, regardless to what they say or what they do. And a lot of times those microfacial responses or my nonverbal cues will reveal what's really going on with me aside from what I'm saying. Now, if the person is sharp enough to pick up on that, they might ask, is that how you really feel? Because your whole face is saying something different. And then I find myself in a deeper conversation than I care to be, or maybe than I actually have time for. So I just want you to be aware that what happened yesterday with your family and your friends and at events that you might have gone to for the holiday can be very revealing about what's going on with you inside. And maybe everything that you communicated wasn't exactly as what you said, right? And maybe we need to do some more work about honestly communicating what we feel. Maybe we do. I know that's an area for me that If my words and my face could match up, that'd be perfect. Like I could probably be on the soap operas as a great actress or something. But I need to work on that piece. And I'm not saying that what I'm feeling and my responses, my nonverbal cues are wrong, right? But I do find a lot of times what I'm really feeling, I'm not quite ready to put it on the table. I want some time to process stuff. And for me, that's wisdom. So you need to think about how you communicate. Don't burn bridges because you don't know the right response or what should be the response in any given situation. In Narcotics Anonymous, we have an opportunity to take inventories and get rid of the things that are not working for us and add, right, to our repertoire, to our tool belt, the things that do work. But some of those tools we add, right, take time to develop. They will take time to develop them so that they truly are an asset and not causing harm. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you, and I am going to be talking to you tomorrow. I hope that today, December 26th, will be the best December 26th that you have ever lived. You are in the flow of the stream, so go out there and do mighty things. Have a beautiful day on purpose.